think it's important that we recognize how valuable it is to think about good things, to think about positive things, to think about positive thoughts, our positive experiences, and the things that we want to happen rather than the things that we don't want to happen. Because I was thinking about it earlier today, and I was wondering about my thought process, the differences between how I think when I'm in a good mood and when I'm in a bad mood, when I feel that everything is going right and when I think everything, or when I feel everything's going wrong. And I realized that the biggest difference between the two is that whenever I think everything is going wrong, I tend to focus on the problem. I tend to focus on maybe one aspect of my life that isn't going as well as I wanted it to. But when I feel that everything's going right, almost instead of thinking about any problem, instead of substantiating any new thought, I'm rather just almost replaying the positive experiences that I've had, the things that make me joyous, the things that make me happy. I'm just replaying those thoughts, I'm imagining it and visualizing it over and over and over again. And I'm starting to understand how important it is that we do almost take that kind of route consciously whenever we're thinking. Because it's almost the example of if you have a blank sheet of paper and you put a black dot on it and then you tell someone to describe what it is, they'll always focus on the black dot regardless of how small it is, as opposed to the much larger white space. And in that same way, I think whenever we're not in a positive mood, we tend to focus on the problem regardless of how small, rather than the joy and the peace and the pleasure that everything else has to offer. So when I say think about positive thoughts, I mean to literally, consciously focus on the good. Replay some great moments in your life. Replay those moments that made you feel happy, that made you feel at peace, that made you feel loved, that made you feel treasured. Replay those over and over and over again. Not in the sense that we should always focus on the past, but in the same way, we should almost replay the things that we do want to happen in the future. And in doing that, we almost allow ourselves to become happier people. We allow ourselves to consciously imbue peace, to consciously imbue joy within our own lives. And in that same way, we almost take away some of the power of the external world on our emotional state. Because as long as your emotions are controlled by the outside, you'll never be able to control the outside. In order to substantiate the life that you want to live, it's not about being reactionary to the things that are going on around you. Instead, it's almost about allowing yourself to control or to influence the things that are happening around you. And I think that the most important way that we do that is with our own emotion. So it's about recognizing that if you truly want to substantiate anything externally, it's about first controlling yourself internally. Because we can't control anything in the external world. We can only control our internals. So then, if you truly want to substantiate anything, it's about substantiating it in what you can control, which is the internal world. So why don't we focus on the positive? Why don't we focus on what we want to happen rather than what we don't want to happen? And in doing so, we're almost allowing that positivity to manifest itself in our lives externally. Because in the same way that when you're having a bad day and then everything around you seems to be going wrong, if you're having a great day, everything around you seems to be going right. So why don't we allow ourselves to have a great day every day? Why don't we allow ourselves to just experience positivity, to experience joy, and to experience peace with just existing right here and right now? When I say think positive thoughts, I just mean that we shouldn't necessarily focus on the problems. Not to say that, we should act as if everything is always going 100% properly, but rather in the sense that we should just allow ourselves to think positive thoughts. Think about what we do want to happen. Think about the positivity that we have experienced in the past, the joy that we've experienced in the past, and almost have an optimistic viewpoint on our lives. And in doing so, we allow that optimism to manifest itself in our outside world. The Bible verse I have for this video is taken from Philippians 4, verse 8. And it says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So I think we should really just allow ourselves to focus on the good, to focus on the positivity in our lives rather than the negativity. And in doing so, we allow that positivity to multiply itself. We allow ourselves to notice the positivity more. We allow ourselves to focus on and notice and appreciate the blank page rather than the black dot. I hope you took something from this video, and have a great day.